Hello champions and happy Monday. I am so excited today because we are going to take on multiplying 3 by 3-digit numbers and you're going to be a rock star at it. Show you're amazing today. I know you can do it and so does Mr. Smiles. Let's start with our do now on the top of page 2. Which two of the following are equal to 360,000? Well, let's see how you did. 90 times 40. 9 times 4 is 36 plus 3 zeros. A is not a correct answer. 6,000 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36 plus 3 zeros. B is not a correct answer. Let's check out C. 900 times 4,000. 9 times 4 is 36 plus 5 zeros. That is not a correct answer. Let's check out D. 120,000 times 3. Well, 3 times 12 is 36 plus 4 zeros. That is a correct answer. And let's look at E. 6 times 6 is 36 plus 4 zeros. That is a correct answer. The correct answers are D and E. When you see a problem like that, make sure you show work for every answer choice. Now let's look at number 2, 56 times 28. Well, if I were to do this multiplication problem, 56 times 28, I could start by multiplying 8 times both numbers. 8 times 6 is 48, carry my 4. 8 times 5 is 40, plus 4 more is 44. Now I'm finished. I would drop a 0 and cross out my 8. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 more is 11. And I could add 8, 6, 5, 1. The answer is 1,568. Now let's multiply 895 times 71. I start by multiplying everything by 1. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 9 is 9. 1 times 8 is 8. Now I'm done with my 1, so I'll drop my 0 and start with my 7. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 9 is 63, plus 3 more is 66. 7 times 8 is 56, plus 6 more is 62. Now I can add 5, 14, 15, 3, and 6. The answer is 63,545. Now let's multiply 1,295 times 42. I start by multiplying 2 times everything. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 9 is 18, plus 1 more is 19. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 more is 5. 2 times 1 is 2. Drop my 0. 4 times 5 is 20. Carry my 2. 4 times 9 is 36, plus 2 more is 38. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 more is 5. Now I can add 0, 9, 13, 4, and 5. My answer is 54,390. Now let's do our multiplication facts. First, tell me all the multiples of 2. Ready? Go. Now tell me all the multiples of 3. You've got this. What are the multiples of 4? Remember to write them both on your paper and in the computer. Check your work. What are the multiples of 5? What are the multiples of 6? What are the multiples of 7? What are the multiples of 8? What are the multiples of 9? Take a moment to make sure that you have all of your multiples written in on your paper. As we do multiplication problems throughout the video, you can use this multiplication chart to help you. Now let's start on today's objective with our problem of the day. Erica reads 525 words every night. How much will Erica read in 1 year, or 365 days? So we know Erica reads 525 words every night for 365 nights. So we need to multiply because we'd have to add up that 525 365 times. First, let's find a reasonable estimate of the words Erica reads. Well, what's a number that we could use to estimate that's close to 525? Well, we could use 500. What's a number we could use to estimate that's close to 365? We could use 400. What's 500 times 400? Well, 5 times 4 is 20, plus 4 more zeros. Our answer is going to be about 200,000 words. Now, to show how we can multiply by three-digit numbers, let's start by drawing an area model. And we can split each one of those numbers up by its place value. So 525 can be split into 500, 20, and 5. And 365 can be split into 300, 60, and 5. So just like when I multiplied with two-digit numbers, I can break my multiplication apart into separate problems. Let's fill in those boxes. What's 5 times 5? Well, 5 times 5 is 25. What's 5 times 20? 5 times 20 is 100. What's 5 times 500? Well, 5 times 500 is 2,500. Now, let's add that row up to find what's 525 times 5. 525 times 5 is 2,625. Now let's start by multiplying in our tens place. What's 60 times 5? Well, 6 times 5 is 30, plus one more zero would be 300. What's 60 times 20? 60 times 20 would be 1,200. What's 60 times 500? 60 times 500 would be 30 plus 3 more zeros, 30,000. Now I can add 525 times 60 equals 31,500. Now I can multiply by 300. What's 300 times 5? Well, 300 times 5 is 1,500. What's 300 times 20? Well, that would be 6,000. What's 300 times 500? That would be 150,000. Now I can add 300 times 525 is 157,500. Now that I've found three partial products, I can add them to find my final product. What's 2,625 plus 31,500 plus 157,500? The sum of my partial products is 191,625. Now let's multiply using the standard algorithm. So 525 times 365. I'm going to split this into three problems just like I did with my area model, where I'm going to multiply by 5 first, then 60, then 300. Alright, when I multiply by 5, I'm going to multiply 5 by each number going across. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 more is 12. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 1 more is 26. I'm done with my 5. Now I'm going to multiply by my 6. It's in the tens place, so I need to drop a 0. Now I can multiply. 6 times 5 is 30. Carry my 3. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 3 more is 15. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 1 is 31. I'm done multiplying with my 6. Now I'm multiplying by 300, so I don't just need to drop 1 0, I need to drop 2 zeros, because 3 is in the hundreds place. Now I can multiply. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. And 3 times 5 is 15. Finally, just like with two-digit multiplication, I can add 5, 2, 16, 11, 9, 1, and I get the same answer. Now let's fill in our notes. When we're multiplying by a three-digit number, first we're going to multiply by the digit in the ones place. Then we're going to drop a 0 because we're multiplying in the tens place. And we're going to multiply by the digit in the tens place. After that, we'll drop 2 zeros because we're multiplying in the hundreds place. Then we'll multiply by the digit in the hundreds place. Finally, we'll add the partial products. So let's try an example. 154 times 137. Remember, we're going to split this into 7, 30, and 100. So first, I'm going to multiply 7 times all three numbers across. What's 7 times 4? It's 28. What's 7 times 5? It's 35. Plus 2 more is 37. What's 7 times 1? It's 7. Plus 3 more is 10. Now I'm finished with my 7. What should I do now? I need to drop a 0 because 3 is in the tens place. Now I can multiply. What's 3 times 4? It's 12. What's 3 times 5? It's 15, plus 1 more is 16. What's 3 times 1? It's 3, plus 1 more is 4. Now I'm done with my 3. What do I need to do next? I need to drop 2 zeros because 1 is in the hundreds place. 1, 2 zeros. What's 1 times 4? It's 4. What's 1 times 5? It's 5. What's 1 times 1? It's 1. Now what do I need to do? I need to add my partial products. 8, 9, 10. 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 5 is 11. My answer is 21,098. Now let's try 392 times 154. Remember, I'm going to split this up into 3 multiplication problems: 4, 50, and 100. What's the first partial product? What's 4 times 392? What would go on this line? Well, 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 9 is 36. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 3 more is 15. Now, we're done with our 4. What should I do next? I need to drop a 0. Because 5 is in the tens place, I'm multiplying by 50, not just 5. What's my second partial product? What goes here? What's 5 times 392? 50 times 392. Well, 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 9 is 45, plus 1 more is 46. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 4 more is 19. Now I'm done with my 5. What should I do next? I need to drop 2 zeros because 1 is in the hundreds place. What's 1 times 2? 2. What's 1 times 9? 9. And 1 times 3 is 3. What's my final step? Well, I need to add my partial products. 8, 6, 13, 20, and 6. The answer is 60,368. Now you try one. What's 865 times 273? Well, I would start by multiplying 3 times everything. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 6 is 18, plus 1 more is 19. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 1 more is 25. I'm done with my 3. 7 times 5. I can't do that quite yet. I need to drop a 0 because I'm multiplying by 70, not 7. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 6 is 42, plus 3 more is 45. 7 times 8 is 56, plus 4 more is 60. Now I'm done with my 7. I need to drop 2 zeros because 2 is in the hundreds place. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1 more is 13. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 1 more is 17. Now I can add my partial products. 5, 14, 11, 6, 13, and 2. My final answer is 236,145. Now you try one more. What's 451 times 285? Check your work with mine. Now that you've finished this video, follow the instructions on page 4 to log into IXL and get some practice. You're going to do a great job with this, I know it.